Good evening, students. Today we have to discuss very important topic. It is asked a number of times in the VTU examination, and it is also required for our further calculation. That is choice of poles in DC machine or selection of poles in DC machine. Now, selection of number of poles depends on frequency and speed in case of AC machines. So, Ns equal to 120 F by P as per the requirement of speed, as per the frequency, number of poles are designed. But in case of DC machines, such a relation is not exist. We can select any number of poles, but the selection of poles should affect on the commercial or economical situations of the machine. It is slightly confusing whether you have to select lower value, whether we have to select higher value. So, the selection of number of poles in DC machine depends on following factors. Number 1, frequency. Number 2, weight of iron parts. Number 3, weight of copper. Number 4, length of commutator. Number 5, labor charges. Number 6, flashover and distortion of field form. So, after making the list, you have to discuss one by one. Number 1, frequency, the frequency of flux reversals. The selection of number of poles mainly depends upon frequency of DC machine. That means frequency of flux reversals. If the less number of poles are used, then it is very good for commercial point of view. If higher number of poles are used, then it is slightly makes not commercial design. That means it is not economical. So, by keeping all these factors, the frequency should range between 25 to 50 hertz. That you remember first form, the number of poles should be chosen such that frequency of flux reversal should lies between 25 to 50 hertz. Number 2, weight of iron parts. The weight of iron parts is another important part which also depends upon number of poles. If we are using larger number of poles, then area of cross section can be reduced. It can also result the reduction of iron parts of the machine. Hence, weight of the armature core also reduces. Finally, overall diameter of machine also decreases. All things are beneficial. As per the economical point of view, larger number of poles are used. Number 3, weight of copper. It also gives the same manner. If we are using more number of poles, then windings used in the machine also decreases. Hence, copper, weight of copper used for armature and field winding, it also decreases. Hence, for reduction of winding material or weight of copper, hence best option is selection of more number of poles. Number 4, length of commutator. The selection of number of poles also depends upon length of commutator. It also gives the same way as the number of higher poles are used. Hence, it reduces length of commutator. It reduces overall length of the machine. Hence, for better we have to use higher number of poles. Only disadvantages are very less. Number 5, labor charges. The selection of number of poles increases labor charges. Number 6, flashover voltage or distortion of field form. The use of larger number of poles results higher flash. Increases the flashover between adjacent brush arms. With also increase of number of poles results there is a reduction in distortion of field under no load condition. It lies between both advantages and disadvantages. As summarizing all the points, if we are using higher number of poles, the advantages are reduction in weight of the armature core, weight of the armature yoke, cost of the armature and field conductor, overall length, and diameter of machine, distortion of field form between the load condition, these are all reduces. Disadvantages are it increases the frequency of flux reversal and labor charges and possibility of patchover between brush arms. So, as per the design conditions, you have to select higher poles or lower poles keeping these design viewpoints. This is one theory question. Next, it is also helpful to problem. Guiding factors for choice of number of poles. How the poles are decided in problem. How the poles are decided in problem. Number 1, already we have seen that the frequency should lies between 25 to 50 hertz, first condition or first rule. Second rule, the value of current per parallel path is limited to 200 ampere. Maximum, it is restricted factor. The value of current per parallel path is limited to 200 ampere. Similarly, current per brush arm should be limited to 400 amperes. It should not increase more than 400 ampere. Similarly, current per parallel path, if it is lap winding, number of parallel paths A equal to P. Current per parallel path becomes IA divided by P for lap winding. Similarly, in case of P winding, number of parallel paths A equal to 2, that is IA by 2 for wave winding. Number 3, current per brush arm, that should be equal to 2 times IA divided by P. This is a general formula. Then you can change number of parallel paths A equal to P for lap winding, and current per brush arm for wave winding, it should be equal to IA approximately. Next, we have to go for armature MMF, should not be too large. The normal value of armature MMF per pole is given in the table. It may be 100 kilowatt, approximately 500 angstrom, 100 to 500 kilowatt, 5000 to 7500 angstrom. How the output in kilowatt changes, the ampere turns of armature MMF also changes. It is maximum up to 12,500. It is another check. Hence, all 3 checks, if number of options are available, if more than one choice, some 2-3 number of poles are satisfying all these values, 3 possible conditions are satisfies all 3 above conditions, then your decision should be given for larger number of poles. That means, if I am satisfying 4, 6, 8, all 3 values are satisfying, then you have to select higher number of poles, that means 8, higher number of poles for reduction iron and copper weight. That means, for economical design I should go for, then you mention that point, higher number of poles are selected. It should be followed in the problems.